Good evening, good evening. We are back. We just did a video just before this one, just a few minutes ago. As we turned the video off, we started discussing a topic that I want you guys to hear about. I think it's needed to be said, it's needed to be the world need to talk about it. And so we're going to we're going to turn this over to Donna. And and Donna's husband sitting there staring at her.
Do I need to come right now and look at that?
Yes, come on. And we want to introduce y'all to Donna's husband. We just told y'all about Sandy's husband. This is Donna's husband.
20 years.
Talk to the
Oh.
Okay, Donna, it's your turn.
I'm trying to make sure I'm on TV. Hi, Mom, I'm on TV. You all heard what I said? Stop that.
Hi, Milton. So we're gonna turn this over to Donna because this is important. This happens, and a lot of people are not aware how serious this is and how it affects us as Black people or as white people or whoever it's happening to. Because there are different things, even in the white, it's different. So we're gonna turn it over to Donna.
Hello. So I grew up in a family where I have a sister. We're about 18 months apart, and I had a brother. We're about 9 years apart. But both of my parents are light skinned, and I am brown. And so throughout my entire life, I always felt kind of like I didn't fit in. We would go places, and people would ask me, who was I? Was I the neighbor's child? There was even an ongoing joke about one of my father's friends who was dark. His name was Esau, and the joke was that Esau was my daddy. From the time I was 5 years old, that was an ongoing joke that was told. I thought it was real until, honestly, we did 23andMe just about 5 years ago, and I was confirmed that my father was my father. Mm-hmm. That's when I really believed it, because I seriously, my whole life, thought that there was a possibility that he was not, because the joke was from 5 years old. To me, that's a very serious thing. Mm-hmm. I took it seriously. Mm-hmm.
I know it was your daddy because you have the widow's peak like him.
Okay. Well, anyway, and so what I was thinking and what I wanted to share with everyone was that we lived in Maryland, and we would go down every summer, every Christmas to visit my cousins. And my cousins, I always identified so heavily with them because they were all brown. Their mom was brown, their dad was brown, everybody in the family was brown. They had little shades. Penny was a little lighter, maybe, and maybe a little lighter. But I always just felt a kindred with them because I felt like I belonged and like I fit, and I never felt out of place and like who is this person? They were like I felt like they were my family. So as we've grown older and as things have, as I've grown up and everything, I just always, and my sister, this is very serious right now what I'm about to say, but my sister used to call me jokingly, it's a joke to her, but she used to call me Black Thing.
I was a little girl and I didn't know any better.
But I don't remember feeling like it hurt me. Like, I don't remember ever sitting in the room crying about it or anything, but I'm sure somewhere down inside it was painful. Oh, I'm sure it was painful. But what I love about me, feeling like you, what I love about me is that I could have in my life gone after the white man or gone after the light skinned man because I wanted to produce a child that was lighter skinned than me because I'd be prettier, or that I wanted to just be looking at somebody lighter because I thought that was better. But I've had two husbands, both of them. The first one was black as a night, and the second one is almost as black as a night, and I love it that way. Always dated dark skinned men, never liked the light skinned men. They just didn't appeal to me. I just did. One time I had a light skinned boyfriend, and he glowed in the dark, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. I don't want to see my man's skin at night when it's dark. I don't want to see nothing. It's just dark. So,
what about the time you dated that white guy?
I was dating a white guy one time, and we were at his house watching TV. We were all snuggled up, and we were watching Nightmare on Elm Street. And he said,
you were watching football game.
they were watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
And at one point, a black person was in the show, and he said, so. I said, which one? He said, the nigger. I said, the nigger? Because I'm with a white guy. This is changing the subject because this is going away from that. But at that moment, I realized, what am I doing with this white person? This is not right for me. And I don't think I've ever did that again. But going back to the colorism thing, it's very important for people, black, brown-skinned women and men, to feel valued, because oftentimes we don't. Oftentimes we feel like everybody values white people, and then they value light-skinned Black people over us. But as a person of my age now, even with my children, I taught my children that brown is beautiful. I mean, my son likes brown girls. My daughter only dates brown guys. We don't want to be restricted, but they love being brown. They think it's beautiful. They don't, and so I feel like I did a good job in making them feel like being brown is great and there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And whatever you are, you should be happy about it. It's really the thing. If you're light skin, be happy. If you're brown skin, be happy. But it's just a very sensitive topic, I feel like, for Black people and for Black women especially, because I feel like we are always, I just don't feel like we're valued and treated as some of the other colors of women.
And that's a really good point, because when you look at slavery, even back in slavery, the light skinned people was put in the houses to be, the butler and all that, and the dark skin was out there being whipped and in the heat all day. And so back in that time, they did that based on our color. And so what Donna's saying is happening in the families. It happens to a lot of families. This is happening, and this is a very serious matter, because I can even see as she was talking, the pain, as she was talking about it, there's still pain that's inside of her. But one thing I know that is healed, because she liked the brown skinned men. She didn't go, like she say, and find something so her babies can come out with that light skin. She's healed, but there is hurt. So did Sharon, I heard you apologize to your sister, which is really beautiful. But were you aware of how Donna felt when you guys were kids?
No, I didn't really think about it. I thought, I noted that her skin was darker, but I was not nice to her in general. So I've been thinking about it.
Because of that?
No, just because she's my little sister and I would just like beat her up and stuff. I was just kind of abusive to her. I've been thinking about that. Like, why was that so mean to her? I was mean to her. So it was just another way to be mean. It wasn't like that particular thing. And I have apologized to you, my sister.
And probably that made it worse for her.
Of course.
With what she was already feeling. So
yeah. But I didn't think about the colors and stuff like that. But it's interesting though, because I think there's something, how we talk about white privilege. I think there's like yellow privilege or light skin privilege, or people think, right? And and I know you said it's like all lives matter, Black lives matter when you're talking about colorism and dark and light, but I've had a lot of dark skinned girls like be mean to me because I was lighter skinned. I mean, it depends. Some people don't even think I'm light skinned. It just depends on who you're talking to, whatever. But I've had some girls at church be mean to me, like not like me for any reason, and just be totally mean. And so that's not right.
right. It's not.
So it is a problem. It is a problem. I think it is a problem. So I don't know what else to say about that.
So since Unhurt is a little older, Hurt, you have anything to say about that?
I do I do know how people the whole blanket
It's all right. It's taped. Light skin.
It's late, my aunt. It's gonna come to her.
This is coming in.
It's coming.
She almost finished. Light skin, dark skin, go.
And I guess what I wanted to talk about was knowing having a child who was light skinned and one who was dark skinned, and what the people thought. And I didn't know that it really was a deep feeling. I remembered more how my sister Bobby would react when people would say, "Well, where did you get her from?" But then when with Donna, it didn't really register with me as much about what people would say about her color. But I do know that there was somebody mentioned it later. There was a guy who that we were friends with, and we would always say that Donna was
Oh, yeah.
he was her father, and we always said it as a joke, and we were sure that Donna knew it was a joke, and it was years and years later when this man and his wife both had died, and their son we couldn't find him for a few years, and finally we found him on LinkedIn. So everybody, remember LinkedIn is really worthwhile. So we found him on LinkedIn, and he sent us a message and said he was moving to Dallas. And so he moved to Dallas, and when he moved to Dallas, he came over to see us. And while he was here, Donna called. And just out of the blue, as a joke, I said, Donna, your brother is here. She said, who? Randy?
No, that's not what happened.
That is what happened.
Uh-oh.
Because I didn't believe it. So no, that
She said, who? Randy?
I said Vincent. She said
No,
ma'am.
she said Randy. And I was surprised that she remembered that and still talked about that. And so that was, and I still didn't know that she really was serious about believing that his daddy was her daddy. And finally, it was a few months after that she got the 23andMe results. And then when she got that, that's when I really saw that she believed that this man was her daddy. Well, I just thought that my daughter trusted me more than that. And that if that was her daddy, then she would know it for sure.
Mhm.
And we would be having a relationship and a family, with him.
But this started at a young age, right?
5 years old.
But she didn't know. They were.
But that's what I'm saying. She's 5. So why did
No,
you
he
think
wasn't. She wasn't 5.
But
It was
It was ongoing that you would say that for a long. I mean, it was ongoing. You always say
well
that.
when people would say that she was dark and who is her daddy. We probably only started saying that when she was old enough that I thought she knew that it wasn't the truth. We didn't start it when she was 5.
Right, but
So-
I'm saying
so-
that she already had that problem
Right,
at
right,
age
Tammy.
5, and
Yeah,
then
come
when
on.
that
Yeah,
came,
right.
it
It
just kind of
Packed on
solidified.
top of it.
Yeah.
But see, I expected her, which I should have expected, I guess, to know that, listen, I'm her to sing. And my husband is Joe. And if somebody else is your daddy,
But maybe you were keeping it from her and Joe.
no.
And it was a secret.
The two of us together said it. So I just knew that she knew that was a joke.
So what this is showing us, this is a really sad and it's a great
Common.
example. Yeah, it's a comment. It's an example of what we can do to our siblings, our children, and not be aware of it. Because you can see they were just talking and just living their life, having fun and just talking. Even like the other video we just did, Tammy just explained the same thing. How all of us had long hair and they were talking about was she a part of our family and how that hurt Tammy. Tammy always tells us that story. And now Donna is sitting here. Y'all, this is very serious because now Donna is sitting here talking about how she felt as a kid, already feeling y'all lighter than her. She's darker. And then we throw jokes on top of what she has to deal with as she look at herself every day and see that she does not look like y'all. And then we joke about it. So and I know they didn't mean it from a bad place, but they didn't know the hurt that she was going probably from 5 to up into now. I think about Donna. One time we were over here and your daughter Naja said something to us. She looked at me, Tam and Vicky, because I'm 5'10", Tammy 5, probably 9, 5'9", And all of this family is very short. Donna's daughter said to us, I feel so good being around y'all, because Donna's daughter is tall like us, but she's around all these short people all the time. And so think about it, y'all. She sit there and looked at us. Oh, y'all, let's take a picture. I feel so good being around y'all. So I guess what I'm saying is this: when there is a difference, y'all are just so good. Listen, y'all, when there's a difference on a child, a sibling, y'all, we gotta be careful. Our words hurt, y'all. And for Donna, that just touched my heart. I've heard the story, but that touched me because we're not aware of what we say or what we do, y'all. And I'm so glad Sharon apologized. And I saw it that we say stuff and she didn't know what she was doing to her sister. And I'm glad they still have a relationship. And now I think it's a breakthrough. I think sometimes things happen and we don't know why we're not close to people. And it started somewhere when I was 5 and I don't really know. Just like we just talked about my mom. My aunt just told us, I hear y'all talk so much about your dad. What is it? Why y'all don't talk about your mom? She just told us that it's a breakthrough. Sharon just said, you know what? Maybe y'all done close that thing off. Your mama died at a young age. Y'all pain, y'all hurt. Maybe y'all close that out. You just opened my eyes to that. When y'all said that, and me and Vic and Tammy, it's like a light bulb went out of me. Like, is that what we did?
And that's why conversation is important.
It's important.
And whether we like what somebody says or whether we don't like it, sometimes we may not get it right then. But we can come along or listen. If we keep an open mind, then we can come along and we can hear it later on, and we can get something different.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what? Going back to touching the things and talking about your mom, you know, our brother died and her son died when he was 20. It was 30 years ago now. But I think about him on his birthday, on the day he died. I don't spend too much time thinking about it because it does make me sad. I'll let myself be sad on those days. Or the other thing is, what am I trying to say? One of the things I will not talk about with them, and they even know it, when they bring up the night that my father called us and told us that he had died, and the conversation and what was said, when they start talking about it, I'll walk out of the room. I will not even have the conversation.
People who have hearing loss can't read your lips if you keep
Yeah,
saying
so
that.
I can't. I don't like to talk about that or have that conversation. I will walk out of the room and they start. I'll be like, you know, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. So, you know, so it could be something like that. You never know.
But like Unheard said, it's very good to talk about it and to not get off the subject with what Donna just told us. If you guys are out there and you know, back in the day, the lighter than me, they had it going on with the curly hair and all that. Back in the day, they did that, and they didn't know that that could be offensive to people who were darker. Sandy's from Zimbabwe. She was saying, I think Sharon made a comment that they don't see the color there because everybody's dark there. So listen, they're darker. They treated each other the same. And you guys, we need to do that. I don't care if you got a pitch dark or whoever in your family and there's a lighter color, you have to be aware of what you say to them. When you call people names, when you call them black or tar or whatever you want to call them, that hurts. My cousin is 60 years old and she could still sit here. And when she was saying it, I felt the pain. So there's somebody else out there is feeling the same thing. So the reason we came back on this video tonight, because I saw something. And this video is a message of hope. It is for somebody out there to change their lives and to be better from what God is going to do in this room or whatever room he put us in. So if you're out there, please comment below and let us know your story. So maybe somebody else that's listening. I hope Donna's story helped you because she didn't go and hate her color. She embraced it and she married y'all saw that good, tall, retired fireman. She didn't go get a lighter color. She embraced her color. And what she did to make it work, did you hear what she said? When she came around some brown-skinned people, she found her power. Whatever's going on in your life, you find where your power is. Don't listen to what people say. That's not who you are. And so you listen to God, so you're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
You listen to God. And so my cousin, a powerful woman, powerful, because she didn't let that get her. And we wanted to come back on here to show you who she is. So if you're doing that to your child or your sibling, stop it. Don't do that.
That girl, that boy.
Don't do that. Y'all seriously in love. Don't do that to your siblings.
All shades of
But
beautiful.
you didn't know
Right.
you didn't know what you were doing, so now you
Yes.
know better.
Yes. Yes.
Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that this
That's
was
right.
affecting my daughter. And I always thought, well, my daughter knows me. She knows I'm her mother, and I would do anything to hurt her.
Right.
But little did I know.
Wow.
Well, and
It's powerful.
Oh, that is. That is. That is.
when I was about 5 or 6, Dean used to live with us, who's our aunt, my mother's sister, her youngest sister, and she and I were watching a movie together, and you're gonna think this is crazy, Sandy. We were watching this movie together, and it was like a Tarzan movie, and how they had Africans and stuff with spears and stuff. Because that's all we knew. Did we know anything about Africa other than that? And they would make the Africans look like very threatening and menacing. And I heard this. There were some drums. There was a fire station down the street, and I heard these drums in the background. I said, "What is that?" She said, "Those are the Africans. They're coming to get you." Oh my God. I was terrorized. And I told her since then, we always talk about, she's like, "I'm sorry." I was like, yeah, I was terrorized. I was in fear for the whole day that the Africans were coming to get me.
But could there be a correlation between your fear of Africans, because they were portrayed as dark, menacing, and brown people, and just a certain thing that then in your head went forward?
No.
Because I don't know, because we're about to go, right?
No, we got time.
Because Sharon has typically only found light.
Don't tell them my business.
Well, we're doing a lot of business. I told her.
Don't tell my business.
But I was just gonna say, typically you've been more attracted to light-skinned men. Is
Well,
that
I think sometimes you're attracted to what your father looks like.
okay? But I said, was that?
No,
That's
it was.
Yes, it is. That's for me to tell.
Did you?
Yes, yeah, that's for me to tell. I don't tell what kind of man she likes or don't like.
Well, whatever kind of man that you do like, make sure that you know that all colors do matter.
Right.
I dated dark skinned men.
This is what real TV is about.
Yeah, I
guys.
dated
Let them talk. So go ahead and talk.
You like light guys, you like light guys.
I've dated dark skinned men too.
Okay, well, she can say that.
Well, anyway, go.
I like all men.
What were you gonna say about it? You put it out there. Go ahead. Go ahead. What
The
were you
point
gonna
is
say?
lost.
No, it's not.
No, it's lost. Continue.
No, it's not.
I want to say something, how important it is, this conversation, because we talked about in our last video, you saying you were a big girl. And here you are saying you're a big girl, you're saying you're darker and color. All those things matter, and people will cling to where their comfort level is. And thank God for different shades, different sizes. What if everybody looked the same? Can you imagine if we all looked the same and we all talk the same? But God made each and every one of us. We're all uniquely made, and we're made specific. And He didn't make no mistakes. When He made you that color, He knew that color's gonna look good on you. You wear it well. When He made you your color, when He made you your size, whatever God specializes in doing things just for us, because every one of us are very, very unique. You sit at this table, we have all the shades of chocolate here. This is a beautiful circle right here. So our brown, honey, is beautiful.
Let me just say one more thing, because I just thought about this with my children, both of them. Like, I'll look at pictures, I'll be FaceTime, and I'll go, "Ooh, Naja, you looking awfully light. You need to get you some sun." And Elijah, I said, "Elijah, go get you some sun. You need to come over here and spend like 30 minutes in the pool because you're looking awfully light. I need you to get a little more brown." Because they're usually very brown, but she lives in New York and he doesn't play soccer outside anymore, so he needs to lighten up. I'm like, hey, you need a little, go get you some sun.
But
Again,
but again, she embraced her environment. That's her environment, and look how she embraced it. She's not trying to get them to go get bleach.
I go outside and get brown every
she's
day.
not trying to tell her kids to go bleach their skin. She's telling them, hey, get a little
And
browner.
the one thing that is encouraging about so many different things is that I see, this is a little on another subject, but it's about that the girls, the big girls,
Lizzo.
in Monroe. Well, I don't know if it's Monroe. It's they have the Miss Plus
Mhm.
America,
Yes.
and I'm just so proud to see
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's beautiful.
And your niece is your
Yes,
niece
my niece,
Katrina.
Patrina, is the Miss Pelican State,
Yes.
and
Plus size.
those girls look so good.
That's good.
They wear such beautiful clothes, and even those who just let it all hang out, who are not Miss Plus America, I look at them, I said, I sure wish I could do that.
Lizzo,
I would.
you want to let it all hang out like her?
Well, you know,
The confidence.
I appreciate.
Confidence.
I appreciate their confidence because I don't have that kind of confidence. But you know, they put on a top here with this is out here and this is all, and I'm thinking I can't do that. I don't have that kind of confidence to
But
just let it all be
you
out.
like that they've embraced who they
Yes,
are.
I do.
And
I
that's what Donna
I do.
just told us
Yeah,
and showed
yeah,
us.
yeah.
And that's what we should do, embrace what
Yeah.
we are.
And there's more of that now
Yes.
than it ever has been.
Yes.
Because it seems like there's more big girls now than ever.
That's right.
And they don't put on any tiny cover up and wear some big top. They have it all.
You know the crazy thing about that? For me, coming from the West Coast women are thinner. They eat different, thinner. When I came down to Houston, I was like, ooh wee, I ain't gotta worry about the diet plan because I fit right in. Because what I noticed was in Vegas, I'm a big girl in Vegas. Yeah, I'm a big girl because we eat different. We don't have all the good Southern cooking down here. The broccoli and chicken. Eat your proteins, But when I came south, it was a whole different thing. I saw women who were some big ones for real, and them girls was wearing the outfits and
they have men
because
on the West Coast, if you're really big, you generally don't get them in.
Right,
but in the South,
the bigger the better. Look like
men go for that.
Yeah.
So my dad told us that even a dog buries a bone. He always told us that if we start losing weight, he told us don't no dog want nothing. He's not gonna eat a little skinny bone. He go bury it. So he was just basically telling us men like meat on their bones.
I knew a girl. Her husband told her if you lose your booty, you lose your man.
That was me.
And maybe I'm glad I lost it because I lost him and he didn't.
That's a plus. But listen, I hope you got something from this video. If Donna want to close us out and say something for those of you who have felt that way, where you feel, even if it's not about the color of your skin, and maybe like me, my height, growing up, tall was not in. That's why they call me too tall, tree. That was not in. Guys did not date me because I was too tall. They wanted the little short, petite girls. I did not date in high school, and because I was tall and lanky. So it's always something that somebody has hurt us with their words. And so I'm glad Donna opened and was very transparent on what she's been through so it can help somebody else. So Donna, if you want to close us out, we're going to get off of here.
I just want to say, whatever you are, whether you're light, whether you're dark, brown, whether you're short hair, long hair, nappy hair, straight hair, curly hair, no hair.
No hair.
It doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel, because if you love you, somebody else will love you too.
Thank you all. We hope to see you. Oh, bye. 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 Bye.
Bye from the cousins.
Bye.